worn out and shot.
Okay.
So you can't hardly even find one of those that's even good usable. Plus that they were designed for the 1700 and not for a 2-liter. So
These did the air work, the fans and stuff?
the heater that has heater doesn't have air conditioning.
Right.
No.
How did the heater work?
The heater's here. This is okay.
That's closed?
No, this is your cold air. This is on.
Okay.
If you put your, you can kind of feel a little air coming up through there. That's why I say that's why the Mr. Heater is nice to have. They don't put out a whole lot of air on these.
Okay, so that is in an open position. So if you want to shut it off, you pull it up.
Yeah, you go up. Okay, but now you got a problem. This one here is not shutting all the way off.
Okay.
So this one here does. This is 2 different cables.
Okay.
Now this has a heater box, one on each side. Okay. This has a heater box on each side. This is the one for the right-hand side.
Yeah.
This is the one for the left-hand side. The cable going back to the heaters on this is frozen or something in between, and
so it's not going to close.
It won't close.
So in the summer when you drive like this,
what'll need to be done is that needs to be disconnected from the heater box.
Okay.
Yeah. All you have to do is go underneath, and I can show you if you want. I'll show you how to do it. Because you're living in Southern Cal.
Yeah.
And you don't want anything below 60 degrees. You're not going to want 60 degrees. You're not going to want a heater. Plus, you do still have control over here, so so you still get heat out of the system. Okay. Yeah. This is cold air, and obviously the only time you want to have that on is in the summertime. Rest time, have it up. You don't want cold air coming in too. Yeah, and they come out of these vents here.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yep. So that was the important part to let you know about the wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, headlight on.
And can you go out there and see the headlight and the blinkers? See if it...
Yeah, I can check and see. Yeah.
Is it wiping?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And that just has 2 stages: slow and fast.
Okay. Can you do the blinker?
Yeah. Headlights are on, right? Headlights. High and low. Yeah. Turn signal. This side.
Is it blinking?
Down below. Yeah. Jeez.
Okay. On the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go in the back.
Go in the back and check the brakes. I'll hit the brakes and both of them should come on.
We're going to check the brake. Okay, brake. Okay, left signal. Right signal. Good? Okay, good.
So that's pretty much all your instruments you have.
Okay.
Headlights on.
Can you disconnect this? Because I don't want it on.
You want off or on?
I want it off.
Okay, then
Because I don't want heat to come in.
Yeah. Okay. And this is on now, and this controls the right-hand side controls. It does open and close. This one doesn't. I don't drive it in the winter time.
Yeah.
Because I stored all, and so it wasn't until the other day that I started putting penetrating oil in the cable and all that stuff. But the trouble is the cable runs from here
all the way back
there, and what happens is sometimes it'll get moisture into that cable and it'll actually rust in the cable, and once it's rusted, you might be able to have somebody try to change it out.
No, let's just disengage it. I won't eat it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have the Mr. Heater, and that's kind of why I'm giving you the Mr. Heater is for that backup.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
How does the radio work?
Push it and hold it. It'll come on. You also have a remote for it that I've never used. Spare set of keys.
Where's the speaker coming from?
Right here.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
And so here's your volume. It's just a radio. It's not. This is not a great stereo system.
And what is this guy?
This is for the rear window
defroster.
Yeah, but it
don't work.
It probably doesn't work. Yeah, okay. I had never. The truth is, I never. Okay, so here's the title.
Okay.
Here's some of the paperwork that I came with it when I had it. And this is the last. I just gassed it up, so this is the mileage when I did. And this is
the odometer for real?
Yeah,
it's only got 27,000 miles on it.
Well, once around.
Okay.
Once around, yeah. So, and when I got it, I looked back on my paperwork, and as far as I could tell, when I got it, it had a little over. It had. I'm not even sure exactly. The last thing I seen that had mileage on it was like still in the 20,000.
Okay.
So yeah. I've got, in fact, here, one second here. I'm pretty avid about keeping track of my gas and all this stuff. And let's see. Okay, excuse me. Oh, move that out. Yeah, 22,000. 21. Yeah, clear down to 21. So.
Okay.
I mean, this thing, hasn't got a whole lot of miles on it. And since I put the new pistons and cylinders, it's only got, in fact, let me grab that paper.
No, this light's on because the doors are open, right?
Yeah, let me see. Is that, let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah. Close the door, that should, yeah.
Okay.
Shuts it off, okay. So the pistons and cylinders were put in at 27,400.
Okay.
And I got 835. So it's got 435 miles on it since I put brand new pistons and cylinders in.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put this back.
So when you fill up, you put in the mileage so that you can track?
I keep track of it, yeah.
Does the fuel gauge work?
Yeah, it does. I can't promise you. When it filled it came up to full, and when I ran it, I only ran it down to 3/4 of tank. But it's this. I haven't. I say the trouble with this bus is I used it in the, I think it was in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, and I kind of put it away for a long period of time.
Okay. And
because I've got 3 buses, and I wasn't using it that much, and so anyway, so I'm going to put these in here just so you'll have it.
Yep.
And it's got some other paper, some other stuff in there. This is, I'll leave, there's a pen in there too.
Okay.
There's a pen in there, so let's see, that's your registration.
Okay.
Okay. And there's a pin, and here's, if you and that's up to you. You may not want to, but if you do, you can keep on adding it to. Here's a cup holder here. This is your emergency brake. Off, make sure it's all the way off, back on. Okay, and set it fairly solid. Don't just don't like that. You want to make sure it's pulled pretty hard. Don't put both feet on the dash and try to break it. And that shifter, have you ever driven one of these before?
Not the bus. I've driven the Bugs.
Okay. The shift pattern on this is a real H. You got to remember the shifter linkage goes from there clear to the back to the transmission. Okay, so what you do is you go over against the stop, put it in first, second, and then H pattern it. Don't shoot across. Go cross.
Side,
fourth, fifth. Yep. I mean fourth gear. Okay, down, push down on it, but don't get too herky and push down, and you'll feel it come back.
Got it. That's for reverse.
Yeah, see, now it comes back, okay? Yeah, and you'll feel, you got to push down up, because it won't go into reverse until you push down and over. See, you can see how it feels.
Yeah.
I would do that and learn, this is what I tell people, to learn how to use the clutches properly on these. Don't give it any gas. It helps by having it in first gear. See, and figure out where the clutch engages. Because the worst thing to do is to sit here and go.
Yeah.
And then slip the clutch. That's hard on the clutch, and it's not good for it. So best thing to do is to learn exactly where that clutch disengages. Okay. Okay. Disengage, engage. So you get that feel, and it'll make a big difference too in the way it feels. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I'm going to take a look at the engine and we go for a test drive.
We'll take a test drive and let's see. Yeah. I checked the oil, I checked the transmission, I checked the fuel filter, everything looked good. That's the engine here, obviously. The Weber carburetor, and this is a points condenser. It has points This is, it's red, but a lot of people see, because they see it's red, they think it's positive, negative. And then it says negative on, and it's got a positive on the positive. You can see, now you see the positive on it. So this is how you check the oil. The engine, you want the engine up to temperature, shut the engine off. There's the F now. What you want to do, and I suggest you know, check it regularly, you can say it. Okay, and so you pull it out, wipe it off. You always want to make sure it's nice and clean and dry, so you can see where the oil level is, and then just put it back in, drop it all the way in, make sure it's all the way in, pull it back out, and check the oil level. And that's where you want it. This is between here,
between the top two, right?
Yeah. And this is a full quart low, and this is a half quart. Okay.
And this is, you mentioned, this is the same engine as the Porsche 914.
Well, it's
or
it kind of, you know, it's similar. This engine originally was well, actually, let's see, 72. Yeah, it was the 411 is where this engine came from. The truth is that they call this a 411 engine, but then it become standard for the buses from 72 up. Okay. They used this engine and made bigger pistons and cylinders on it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, it's got a new battery in it, and it's secured down. It's, you know, it's tight and secured down. That's important. This is where you add oil. Okay, you just unscrew it, add the oil to it. You know, and you always kind of want to have a rag. You know, it's easy to make a mess if you're not careful. Or you can get a funnel if you wanted to. Never, ever put a piece of paper or a rag in this engine compartment.
Right, it'll burn.
This fan will suck it into it, and you'll burn your engine up.
Okay.
So that's real critical there. Don't put a rag or a paper in this engine compartment. Yeah.
It's
anything loose, you want it. Yeah. It's a lot of this. There's a lot of air that gets sucked through this fan.
Yeah.
So because that's what cools the whole engine.
It's a beautiful engine.
Yeah. No,
and then changing the oil is like
there's a filter over here on this side. Okay. There's an oil filter on that side, and then there's a plate in there.
Yep.
You'd have to
just like just like the bus.
Except for they had 6 bolts on this. There's only one single screw on it, and you break loose. But that only goes back on at 9 pounds of pressure.
Okay.
So when if you over tighten it, and here's the deal. And when these buses first came out, these oil change places were going in there, pow, and breaking the engine because there's that piece that holds that plate where it holds it on. It's got a bolt that goes into the case, and if you over tighten it, you break the case. Okay. No, it breaks the case.
I see.
You ruin the engine.
Okay.
So it's critical to torque that at 9 pounds of torque. Yeah.
And then this one is lockable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I got the sets of keys and all that stuff. There's, you know, I can't remember. There's more. There's 4 keys there, and I can't remember if there's. You know, you'll have to find which key works on what place. Okay.
It's the reason they call it a bus. It drives just like a bus.
It does. It feels like you're driving a school bus. Yeah. They have a different feel, and you know, and that you have to learn. You have to learn too your turning radiuses. If you got to remember, you're sitting over the front wheel, so a lot of people will shortcut the turns. So remember that, you know, you pull out when you turn a little bit. Yeah. So.
Signal. It's up, right, or down, or
no, it's forward. Yeah.
Okay, forward.
Yeah. And on one of the, go ahead, yeah, whatever you need to adjust. But you're about the same size as I am, I think.
Yeah.
It should be pretty close.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And you don't have to keep the tiger if you don't want to.
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, the truth is, I kind of put this bus away. When I first got it, we drove it a lot, And then I picked up 2 other pop tops, and I started driving them a lot more. And I kind of put this away for quite a while, and then I kind of got it out. You know, I kind of got it out a little while ago, and then started driving it again. So yeah, you want to rev it a little bit higher. Go ahead and take it up. Yeah, you should. It'd be a good idea to go into reverse. Yeah, that way you can try to make sure you feel good about going into reverse. Okay, go down. Yeah, and make sure you go down first before you go over. So down first. There you go. Yeah. So you are. If it sets, look. If you can see where the shifter sets.
No, that's
Yeah. There you go. Oh, okay. That's one thing I'm gonna do too, is disconnect the horn. See how it honked? Yeah. The wire was disconnected. Now I remember why.
No, I want the horn.
Well, you can. Okay, it may honk like that on there once in a while. If it does, you'll know what it is. So yeah. So I disconnected it because if it okay, I'll show you where it's at, just in case you have to. Okay. How about that?
Is that good?
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, you're good. And neutral. Yeah. Okay, you're good. So okay, I'm going to disconnect the heater. Okay, and I'll show you where the wire is for the horn, just in case. Years ago, I was driving and it started to honk, and it stayed honking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it didn't do it until you got back, and that's kind of when you're kind of leaning. Yeah, it's not much of a horn anyway.
I like it.
Burp. It sounds like you're burping a baby. But so, and here's something you can do too. And see how these are flip floppy? If you want to take some tape and put around them so they stick up, you can. But if you want them out of the way, then you can leave them flip floppy. If that doesn't bother you to do that, whatever. That's a personal preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So here's a bag of extra bulbs and just goodies and tie straps and just odds and ends, fuses, light bulbs. That's your extra set of keys. Here's your remote. Here's your remote for your stereo, which I've never ever used, and probably who knows if it even still works. So anyway, so there's the keys, and the key. Yeah, the one with the piece is
for the engine.
Is the engine?
Okay.
Yeah, same key. Same engine.
So the other ones are for like the doors.
The doors and all that stuff. Yep. Yeah. So you'll probably want to mark them. Go through it and mark them and figure out which one works where. Let's see which. Yeah, that's the way. That was the new ones, right? Yeah. So either set is good. So okay. Are you still interested?
Yeah.
Okay. I say it's not. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But it's still a pretty nice little rig. So
Yeah, I thought we would be able to stay.